Hello, everybody. Welcome to the rundown with from Exposure Baseball with, again, the king of travel baseball in Chattanooga. I always come up with something different each time, Brandon. Brandon Turner, I'm Greg Payne. Brandon, how's everything going?
Everything's good. Another weekend. High school in Tennessee's getting going, and yeah, it's been hectic, busy, but in a good way. Especially after 2020, we'll definitely take this every day of the week.
None of us will complain about anything, even cold weather. Well, I'll still complain about cold baseball.
Yeah,
but,
I can understand that. And then,
but it's still better than no baseball.
Right.
So,
right.
All right, let's jump right into it. We've been talking about our college guys first because those are the guys whose seasons have been going on a little longer. So let's just stay with that format, and we'll start with you just start with whoever you want because I know there's a bunch of guys to talk about.
Yeah, it's each week it seems like somebody else is stepping up. Somebody else is having a really good weekend. And John Barron's, he had another really good weekend for Belmont. He had 2 more home runs. I think he had like 6 or 7 RBIs. Ethan Cady, another one of your guys at ETSU, had 2 or 3 home runs this weekend, had another home run last night. I think he's up to 8 or 9 home runs on the year. Ashton King, ETSU, 4 for 12 on the weekend, had a really good weekend. One that's really throwing it really well right now is Blake Burkhalter down at Auburn. I don't think he's given up a run. He's been coming in relief every outing, but I don't think he's given up a run this entire year. Creighton Keckley, another good relief appearance for Dallas Baptist, 2 2/3. Blake Davis, honestly, he's quietly having a really good year for UT Martin. And on top of that, too, I think he's getting close to the all-time games played. About to break the record there. So that's always good to see. Jake Peppers, Jacksonville State, inning in the third, 2 strikeouts. Hayden Gillian. Gilly was 2 for 4 with an RBI, a double and an RBI in a series. Do what?
I said that dude can hit it.
Yeah, and that's the thing with him too, is he's always going to give himself an opportunity, regardless if he's behind the plate or DHing or whatever, because he can swing it. So they're always going to find a spot for him. But especially being a freshman, it's good to see him getting in there. They actually had a big weekend series win against Austin Peay. So Tech, for me, used to coach there at Tech, you always kind of check in on them, see how they're doing. And so it was good to see them get a weekend series win. Parker Nolan, kind of doing what he always does. He's always hitting, but still anchoring the middle of that lineup. 5 for 11 on the weekend, double. It was a big series win for Vanderbilt just because of the fact that they were playing Oklahoma State, somebody that was kind of their caliber, going head to head, and it was at Oklahoma State. So again, Parker had a really good weekend there. One guy that made the most of his opportunity this past weekend was Josh Perez for Lee. Had a walk-off, 2 RBI single. So it was good to see him getting going. Miguel Usash, like we've talked about every week, playing really well. Kyle Busch, another really good outing, 4 2/3 innings, 1 earned run, struck out 9. Hagenow, he didn't have his best stuff last week, but still went 4 innings, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. Brandon Trammell, 5 for 15 on the weekend, home run, double, 7 RBIs. Ryan McCarthy, 2 for 6, doubleheader sweep for Cleveland State, which they needed. That was against Montlow, so it was good to see that. Bryce Houghton, he picked up a save, going an inning of relief in that game for Cleveland State against Montlow. Ross Pendergrass finally getting healthy. He threw an inning and a third, scoreless, so that was good to see him kind of getting going there for Montlow. Jerry Hammonds continues to, have a huge year. He's 3 for 8, 2 doubles, home run, 2 RBIs. I think he had another home run last night. Jack Winiger, in their opening series for Murray State against EIU, he's a freshman starting Sundays for them. 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, and to be honest with you, they were kind of cheap runs to, so he threw it even better than 4 innings and, just giving up 2. And then lastly, one guy that was good to see him getting rolling here is Andre Tarver. He was 4 for 7 on the week against Tallahassee Community College down there for Chipola. So, like I said, each week it seems like John Rhodes, I think he was 2 for 3. I think the last game, he was 1 for 5, a home run. He had a home run last night. So he continues to do what he does. Like I said, another weekend, but it's exciting that each week it seems like, some other people are getting going and some people are getting hot. And, like, in this game, confidence is, supreme. And as long as you get on a roll there, you become a lot more dangerous. So, like I said, it's good to see all of that.
That's right. I want to talk about two guys. The first two guys you mentioned there that were my guys, Johnny B. And it's the thing is with John, I don't think anybody's really surprised with how far he's come because you could always see it.
Right.
But what was funny was when he was a middle school player and a freshman, and I really thought he was going to be a very good pitcher for us.
Yeah.
He went with some stuff in his elbow, and then started hitting. And one day we're standing out there at practice, and he turns on 2 of them, and I was like, And man, he is just taken off. That dude, he is very talented.
Well, I'll tell you something else that he did. His first year, he redshirted. Then he went off and played in the Hamptons League. Had a really big summer, comes back to Belmont, starts that year, the entire year. Well, then he goes back off to play in the summer, plays entire summer. Fast forward year 3, he goes back to play in the summer. So I think that for him, that he just needed at bats. He needed, and you got to give him credit because this is the world and the time of, look, I've played enough. I'm on my head to the house, take some vacations here, especially out of college. I just played, 56 game schedule. I'm not interested in going. So I give him a lot of credit for doing that. And I think that has a lot to do with it, how much success that he's having. And like we talked about, he's getting some looks here from some pro guys and, so definitely following him, wishing him the best, and hopefully he can finish strong here.
Right. I'm proud of him, and that's just a great family. So I'm glad to see that success. And another one of my guys who, he's one of the national players of the week, Ethan Cady. That's, we've talked about, a lot of our guys are getting honors with a player of the week, conference player of the week, this kind of stuff. But dude is in the national player of the week conversation list. He was on the list. So he's just mashing. Let's talk about him for a little bit.
He was already, putting up a big year. I think going into last week, he was hitting 360, 370, something like that. A lot of extra base hits and then a lot of home runs. And, this past weekend, 4 for 9, 3 home runs, a double. Like I said, it's all extra base hits with him right now. Last night against Tennessee, he was 3 for 5, added another home run. Like I said, he's up to 8 or 9 home runs right now. And he's one of those guys, like we just talked about, is once he gets confident, he's a hard person to stop. And for him, if he's not hitting well, he might beat himself up a little bit too much. Yeah, just a tad bit, but yeah, when he gets going, he's as good as anybody you're going to see. And the ball last night, I think he hit, I think it was 390 feet, and he's hit some balls, up to 450 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to see. He's a guy that stuck with it. Went to Lipscomb, transferred to Columbia State, there for a couple years. Now he's at ETSU. Had to battle it out, to win a starting position. And going into to COVID last year, it was going to be a senior year. A lot of those guys, and you don't blame them if they're going to graduate. They went ahead and said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on here. And he didn't do that. He wanted to continue to play. And, like I said, he's kind of earned that opportunity, and definitely happy for him, proud of him. And, I think there's still a lot more to come from him, moving forward here.
Yeah. And like John, just a great family, good people. they're always supported. Mostly, I'd make his mom mad a few times when I'd yell at Ethan. But you talked about him beating himself up. The joke was when he didn't do well, which of course happens in baseball. You don't bat 1,000, even though Ethan thinks he should.
Right.
He would come in the dugout and somebody would try to pick him up. The teammates say, "Hey, it's okay, it's all right," and he would get so mad. He would go, "It's not okay."
Yep, that's him. That's him. He's definitely got a little bit of rage in him.
But such an incredibly smart guy. Going to go to medical school. So just so proud of those guys and all our guys, but guys that I was able to coach, even when they're younger. Is
for sure.
Fun.
Absolutely.
Let's transition to high school baseball. Tennessee started up this week. I had an opportunity to go over and see Baylor and Gordon Lee. I was really glad to see Coach Dunphy put Baylor on the schedule because everybody knows that Baylor is loaded. I mean, they're nationally ranked and all that kind of stuff. It would be easy for Gordon Lee to avoid a game like that. They didn't have to do that, and it's good for Baylor to put Gordon Lee on there because they're traditionally a powerhouse and they're good this year. So I think that should always happen. I think the best teams in the area should always play each other.
Right.
And it was great to go over there and see that. And it was a lot of good arms. We really saw a lot of good arms there. Jay Deal really threw well, threw it hard. Jake Poindexter threw hard. Those guys. That was a fun game to go see because you don't get to see that a lot in high school baseball. A lot of times it's a big mismatch. You don't get to see a good quality game.
Yeah. I think, if you ask a lot of people, Gordon Lee, they're down this year compared to past years offensively.
Right.
But, anytime you put Poindexter out there, he's going to give you a really good shot to win. And, to be honest with you, he pitched better than his numbers showed.
Absolutely, he did
the other day, and and then after that, you bring in Bo Rudy, who's a 2023 that really good arm, and it goes to show you too, Baylor how good they can be, to where they can see some arms like that. A lot of people they see arms like that, they're just going to be dominant, but at the end of the day, they should be able to. If you're going to South Carolina, Wake Forest. Virginia, all these places, you should be able to do that. And they did. They definitely showed out really well. Henry Godbout hit a home run. Virginia commit that's on our 17U prime team. Vito, South Carolina signee, had 2 home runs. And
good thing the wind was blowing that first one. It barely made it out.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard it was. I was keeping up through my phone, and then I got a couple texts that said, it was a shot.
Yeah, he crushed it. He crushed that one.
Yeah. But like you said, it's always good when the better teams in the area play. It's just healthy for the community to have, a lot of the really good players in this area competing against each other instead of, one being on this team, one being on that team, like it usually is, like you said. So, like I said, that was a really good game to kick everything off here for Tennessee, but we got out to some Knoxville games. We've gotten out to some games down here. So it's been good. Hopefully this rain kind of clears up here in the next couple of days and they can get back at it here.
Now tell me about, I saw somebody threw out the first pitch at the Walker Valley game. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah. They, they retired my jersey years ago. And then anyways, they wanted me to come out. And I appreciate it. It's no matter, where you move off to or whatever, it's always home. And so I appreciate them, acknowledging me and all that stuff. And then on top of that, afterwards, I get to watch, 2 good teams kind of go at it there with McMinn and Walker Valley. So it was an honor. I appreciate it. And, like I said, I was probably more excited about watching the game than having to go through the pregame festivities, I guess you could call it.
Now you don't throw anymore, but I mean, of course, it's muscle memory. It comes right back to you. But just for a second, did you think, "Gosh, I gotta throw it in there"?
Well, I have a torn rotator cuff that I never had when I played. I got it when I was coaching, because I throw BP to every round, everything all year long. And Well, then, our head coach there then at the time was Coach Braga, which love him to death. He's always great to me. Well, anyways, he wanted to work on, our guys seeing some breaking balls and so forth. So I started throwing break. Well, it was my fault in the sense of like I didn't get loose or anything. And I did that for like a week straight. And I'll never forget, we were at Southeast Missouri. I'm throwing pregame BP. Bo Shears was playing at that time. And I felt something at that point, like something's not right. So to bring all that to the other night, that's the reason why when I even went out there and I told him, said, I'm not going back there. I can't, I struggle with throwing BP right now. So yeah, I went to about 40 feet, honestly throwing I was a little bit inside, but for me, I got a little bit of arm side run now that I have to use the lower 3/4 arm angle to protect my shoulder a little bit.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it was good. I greatly appreciate Coach Anderson and those guys having me out. It was good. I appreciate that.
That's congratulations. That's a fun thing and a great thing for them to have done.
Yep.
All right. So what do we got going this week? I know we're in the middle of the week and we've got rain, but
yeah,
what are we saving up for on the weekend? Do you know?
Well, one thing I wanted to make sure I did here was, go over a few of the guys from this past, or actually, heck, they even got some of the games in last night. Yeah. I live over here by Oodawall, and I went to the Oodawall thinking they were going to play at 7 o'clock. Well, anyways, they got rained out, but a lot of people got it in. ETSU commit Hernandez, 2 for 3 for Coahulla Creek. 2023 Jackson Steele, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 7-2 win for Carter. Mason Roderick is starting for McMahon right now behind the plate. He had a good night last night, 2 for 4, double, 3 RBIs. Cleveland State commit Bryce Berkey. I think he was 3 for 4 in game 2. I think first game he was 2 for 3. Cleveland State commit, so it's good to see him getting rolling. Ashton Simmons, Lee University signee, 3 for 4 last night for Bradley. Lucas Buckner, everybody knows, with Lucas, he's always going to produce. He started last night as a freshman for Farragut, which, it's tough to do. 3 for 3 in game 1 with a double, 2 RBIs. Hudson Siegler, ETSU signee, added 2 home runs last night, so it was good to see him getting rolling here. 2022, AJ Berry, 2 for 3 day, 2 RBIs for Seymour. Luke Johnson, guy that you had this past summer, MTSU commit, 2 for 3 last night. One of our guys was up there, 3 RBIs, had a home run. Good to see that. Moving forward here, we've let's see, Eli Varner, 7 innings. I think he's 7 innings, 14 strikeouts, and I think he only threw 78 pitches, which is, obviously hard to do when you got 14 strikeouts. But so it was good to see that. Ty Denton, 2 for 2 the other night for Hardin Valley, RBI. Caleb Valdez is one that I think is going to, start getting a lot of traction here. He was 4 for 5, home run, run scored the other night for Dalton. He had a walk-off home run last week. Good to see him kind of getting rolling here. Lee University signee Landon Maynard, lights out the other night on Monday, 6 innings, just 3 hits, 1 run. Kane Johnson, 17U Black team. He was 3 for 4 the other night, 2 RBIs for Hickson. Connor Martin, another Anderson County kid. He actually threw a no-hitter, 6 innings. Honestly, just gave up a walk, so it was good to see that. We already talked about Vito, Godbout, Cooper Castile, 6 innings, no earned runs the other night. Another one of your guys that you had last year, ETSU commit, so good to see that. Braden Frey, 2 for 2, double, 2 RBIs, it actually had 2 strikeouts and a scoreless inning of relief. Turner Junkins, MTSU commit, really good outing the other day, 6 innings, struck out 6, no runs. Caleb Nix, another one of your guys that you had last summer. Lipscomb commit, 3 for 3, 2 intentional walks. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff being thrown out there. And, we're obviously not going to be able to get to everybody each week, but for us, we're very fortunate to be able to have a lot of really good players. And, it's, I was telling Bo Shears the other day, this is one of the more enjoyable times of the year because you get out and watch them play in high school. You get to get out and watch them play in college and so forth. During the summer, usually I'm pissed off about something, so I'm not enjoying it as much as I do right now. So I tell my wife this all the time. This is my favorite time of the year. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to getting back out there and seeing the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole lot more fun to watch when you just love the guys and you don't really care about the wins and losses and the results. You want to see them do well. You want to see them win. But when you got guys on both teams, you just enjoy watching them play.
Yep.
So
kick the feet up and just relax. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been good. I've enjoyed talking to you as always. Looking forward to another week of baseball, and hopefully I'll get to go out and see games. But the guy that owns the facility up there, the Turner Baseball Academy guy, he makes me go give lessons 4 nights a week so I can pay his salary. So I don't get to go out to all the games very much. But I did skip out on Monday. I hope he doesn't fire me.
Yeah.
So anyway,
can't blame me for that, especially if you got 2 good teams like that playing.
That's true. I had to go see that. See that. So, all right, Brandon, it's been good. Good job on the wrap up there and rundown. We'll talk about all of our guys. We will come back next week and talk more baseball, more exposure baseball, and obviously throw a whole lot of kids' names out there. For Brandon Turner, I'm Greg Payne. This has been the Rundown with Exposure Baseball. Have a good week.